Sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the PCP Forum. Medyo matagal po tayong hindi nagkita, no? Kasi wala akong masyado kasing topic na sinabi sa amin na gusto nilang i-press con. Pero meron po tayong importanteng topic today, which is the celebration of the World COPD Day, no, this year. And the theme is All Together to End COPD. So, meron po tayong dalawang speakers from the Philippine College of Chest Physicians, dalawang pulmonologists. So I'll introduce each of them before they start their talk. So our first speaker is Dr. Bernice Ong-Dela Cruz, who graduated from University of Santo Tomas, took her residency in internal medicine at the Chinese General Hospital, her fellowship in pulmonary and critical care medicine at the Philippine Heart Center, where she was also a chief clinical research fellow for pulmonary rehabilitation. So currently, she's a chair of the Council on COPD and Pulmonary Rehabilitation. And then our next speaker is Dr. Glynna Ong-Cabrera, who finished her Doctor of Medicine at UERM Memorial Medical Center, her internal medicine training at Capital Medical Center, her pulmonology training at Lung Center of the Philippines. And currently, she is the Program Director for the Smoking Cessation Program of the Philippine College of Chest Physicians. So, malalaman po natin kung ano ba yung COPD, and then ano po yung important issues that are plaguing our society related to lung health. So for our first speaker, let's welcome Dr. Bernice Ong-Dela Cruz.
Okay, so good morning. First, I'd like to thank the Philippine College of Physicians for accepting our request for this health forum this November. So actually, this is an activity of the PCCP also in observance of the World COPD Day. So what is World COPD Day at first? No? So this is actually organized by the GOLD, yung Global Initiative for Chronic Obstructive Lung Disease. It was started since actually the first World COPD Day was started on 2002 pa ho, no? Nag-start. Where all the countries, actually, it's started in mga 50 countries, they have their own activities in their hospitals to increase the awareness of COPD and educate also the patients on what is COPD, the causes, the treatment, how to prevent them. Okay, so this year, as part of the PCCP activity, we want to not only educate, to increase the awareness of this disease because of the high burden of this disease in our country. That's why we are celebrating this one. The theme ngayon is All Together to End COPD. That's why nandito po tayo lahat, sama-sama po tayo, doktor, media, healthcare professionals, para po supukin na po ang COPD. Later, we will tell you ways kung paano po tayo tutulungan po to end this disease because COPD actually is may high burden sa ating country. It's one of the top 10 leading causes of mortality in our country. And studies have shown it actually affect globally 5% of all death, not only us. Okay? And more prevalent sa mga death is in the middle and low-income countries. Okay? So, I think I'll just define what is the latest definition of COPD. So, it is preventable and treatable. Okay, very important na iwasan at nagagamot po ito ho. So, this is characterized, as you can see, yan. Characterized with persistent respiratory symptoms, okay, cough, sputum production, dyspnea, hirap huminga, caused by significant exposure to noxious particles or substances. So, the most common is yung smoking nga po, no? And of course, others like air pollution, secondhand smoke, what does genetic predispositions is another one, but these are rare. Mostly is from smoking pa rin majority of this cause. So how do we recognize this disease? Of course, 40 years old and above, okay, 40 years old and above, and may mga simptomas ng chronic cough, hirap huminga, may plema, at inuubo, okay, and may risk factors kayo like what? Naninigarilyo, or even though hindi po naninigarilyo, expose mga biomass fuel. So ano po to? Sa provinces, no, like we have a study before sa Bolt, even in women who are non-smokers, pero gumagamit sila ng uling sa pagluto and closed ventilation sa bahay nila, you're also have been shown to have COPD. So all this one, risk factors plus symptoms, then may procedure tayo ginagawa. What is this? This is spirometry. No? This is not very familiar like ECG, but it's very important to establish the diagnosis and severity ng airflow limitation or lung function ng isang may COPD. Okay? So ito ba'y nagamot? Yes, marami tayong klaseng gamot. Depende sa severity din ng disease, no? So we have bronchodilators, yung mga nebulizer, mga pinapuff, what else? Of course, smoking cessation na, okay? To prevent the disease. And of course, mga inhaled corticosteroids, if warranted. Oxygen therapy, lalo sa mga taong mababa ng oxygen, and yung mga pulmonary rehabilitation tayo. So these are the, in summary, no? Yung treatment po ng COPD. Okay? So as I've said earlier, so ano ba pinaka very common risk factor of COPD, no? So it's smoking. So kung paano kung nakaka-apekto ito, para din this will be discussed by Dr. Glynna. Siya po yung head ng Control of Tobacco and Air Pollution sa PCCP. She will tell us about very relevant na yun, no? Yung tungkol po sa e-cigarette po, no? So every e-cigarette or vape, I mean, they're just the same. So how does it affect us sa lungs natin? So I think this will be discussed by Dr. Glynna.
Thank you, Dr. Bernice. So for this morning, I'm taking this opportunity to talk about two things. Number one is, of course, walang kamatayang smoking cessation. Kasi marami pa rin pong nahihirapan mag-stop mag-smoke. And they really want to smoke. I mean, they want to stop smoking, but they need help. So, and also yung isang gusto kong banggitin also is about the vape. So, yung sa smoking cessation po, yung mga paraan po na pwede natin gamitin or gawin is number one, yung tinatawag na cold turkey. Yung po yung cold turkey, yung hihinto na lang po sa paninigarilyo. Marami pong mga fallacies na pumapaloob sa na natin doon sa paghinto or cold turkey na biglaan kung tawagin. Pero normally po, if you ask po those people who successfully quit smoking, talagang mas effective po yung sinasabi na cold turkey. Kasi yung paunti-unti daw, yung decreasing, sabi po ng mga successful quitters, binubola mo lang daw yung sarili mo. Kasi kung talagang ayaw mo na, ayaw mo na. And sometimes, it's really a choice that a person has to make. Kasi madalas po, may makakamit po kayong person na nag-quit, pero bumalik. So, ibig sabihin po, yung capacity po na huminto, kaya. Kaya talaga, kasi nakahinto na eh. Pero bakit bumabalik? So, yun po yun. So, I guess, nandun po yung mga reasons tulad ng, number one po yung stress. So, usually, kailangan daw magsigarilyo kasi mag-relax. So, yung mga number one cause pa rin po yung stress. O, for some people po, rebellion, sabihin natin, nagre-rebelde kung kanino man. So, yung pagkaganon po, we just advise these people to do stress management kung tawagin. And then, I always tell those people na it's always the choice you make. Kasi lahat naman po choice eh. Choice to start, choice to stop. So, yung kaya-kaya kung nakahinto na. But bakit mahirap po yung making the choice? And lagi ko pong sinasabi, these are the reasons that will motivate kasi the person. What are the reasons that will motivate you to quit? Kumbaga, sa mga doktor, ang laging style kasi dyan takutan eh. Kaka-cancer ka, heart attack ka, mamatay ka, gano'n. Pero kung medyo bata-bata ka, hindi siya meaningful sa'yo eh. Kasi if you're like 25 years old, and I'm telling you, uy, mag-stop ka kasi magkaka-cancer ka o magkaka-stroke ka, parang, this is going to happen in 20 years. So parang walang impact. So it's about motivation and for example, financial. Kasi like sa panahon ngayon, ang isang kahan ng sigarilyo, 100 pesos. So i-compute nyo po yung 1 pack a day in 30 days, 3,000. So medyo mabigat po yun kung ang sweldo mo 20,000 lang, minus 3,000 ka na kaagad. Diba? So 3,000 kung 1 pack a day ka in 30 days. So minsan financial. Minsan naman po, gusto mo lang maging good example kung may anak ka or may mga role model ka sa pamilya mo. So, yun yung tinatawag na motivation. And then, sabi ko nga, yung making the choice is also about what you value most. So, ano bang values mo? Ano ka bang klaseng tao? Are you a good person? Are you a bad person? Would you choose addiction over health? Parang ganun po eh. So, yun po yung mga motivation that we could ask our friends or family members para mag-quit sila eventually. Ngayon, meron pong issue na parang one of the strategies daw that we can do to help a person to quit smoking is the use of electronic cigarettes. Diba? And the electronic cigarettes are those companies will position it as a smoking cessation strategy, claiming that it is less harmful. Pero sa totoo lang po, most of the people that I have encountered do not really actually quit smoking when they are using vape. They are just actually shifting. So, they are not smoking anymore the regular cigarettes. So, they will quit smoking regular cigarettes and they will claim that they have quit smoking. But actually, they're still smokers. They're just using high-tech form of nicotine delivery device or yung tinatawag na ENDS. So practically, they're not quit. They just shifted. Now, the issue on being less harmful. Sabi ko, ano po ba ang definition ng less harmful? Does it mean less cancer? Less heart attack? Ganun po ba yun? Meron po, ano bang stage ang less cancer? Sabi ko ganun. So meron nakapagsabi po na in one of the conferences, it is like choosing if you are going to jump off a building. So are you going to jump off the 3rd floor or are you jumping off the 10th floor? So less harmful tumalon from the 3rd floor. But at the end of the day, ano kaya ang outcome nun? Diba? If you jump, kasi parang 10th floor, oh, parang okay, fine, dead. Pero pag 3rd floor, ano ba yun? May chance pa mo mabuhay yun. But there is still a risk, you know, to eventually die if you jump off the 3rd floor, di ba? So, and then, the FDA, US FDA, the Philippine FDA does not approve of it because it does not pass yung standards kung tawagin natin. Kasi iba-iba po yung paraan ng pagtimpla, iba-iba yung flavor. May mga flavor pala yun. So, they incorporate yung what they call diacetyl, and it has the flavorings. And you'll be surprised when was able to have the opportunity to talk in a high school, isang eskwelahan, na ang composition is from grade 7 to 10. And they are already aware of these electronic cigarettes. And they are already familiar with the different flavors. Nagulat lang ako kasi akala ko chocolate lang, vanilla lang. Nung tinanong ko yung mga bata, sabi ko, ano bang mga flavors? Meron daw Yakult, meron daw cookies and cream, merong strawberry, may vanilla, may caramel, and all the flavors that I've never heard of. But these kids already are aware of. So, there's a danger na itong mga batang to will think that it is less harmful and it is enticing because of the flavors. So, ang nangyayari, these kids don't even start with the regular cigarette. They start with the electronic cigarette. And this is already parang sort of a segue for these kids to become smokers. So actually, if we talk about smoking cessation, it did not really lead to smoking cessation. All those who are previous smokers will quit the regular cigarette, but actually are smoking electronic cigarette. So they are technically still smokers and still on nicotine. Therefore, the addiction to nicotine remains. They are still addicts. And then, unfortunately, the kids start using electronic cigarette and it is harmful to the kids. So, yun po. So, I would like to present also I think this opportunity to present the stand of the PCCP and the Philippine College of Chest Physicians. We are supporting the move of the President and the Department of Health on banning vape. Because of these reasons. Because there have already been several reports stating that there have been harmful effects. Dun po, mas marami po sa Amerika because in the Philippines, we just had our first case of what we call IVALI. So it is electronic cigarette and vape product use associated lung injury. So may tawag na po dun sa sakit ng mga tao na nakakapag-acquire nung sakit due to vaping. So we call it E-Valley. And we had our first case last October. It happened to a 16-year-old who has been using the vape for 6 months. So na-admit po siya sa ICU. And then, but reports po ngayon, nag-improve naman po at she was discharged. But if you talk about the reporting dun sa ibang bansa, especially in the US, there have already been 2,290 cases of EVALI as of November 20, and there have been 47 deaths already. So therefore, it is not safe. And then, sabi nga nila, less harmful than a regular cigarette. I'm sure, sasabihin nila, itong 16-year-old na to, naninigarilyo rin naman ng regular cigarette, kasi duwag daw. But I'm sure dun sa mga smokers, ilang milyon ba ang nag-umpisa ng 16 years old ng regular cigarette? Pero wala naman po tayong ganitong kaso. So, there arises now the question, is it really less harmful than regular cigarette? Ilang months pa lang po naninigarilyo na gumagamit ng vape, yung mga batang ito, na-hospitalize na. And then there have already been 2,290 cases. Di ba sa COPD, 10 years of 1 pack a day ito wala pang halos 1 year, nagkakasakit na siya. So therefore, is it even less harmful? Diba? Definitely, less harmful is not equal to safe. So that is why the stand of the PCCP and the PCP is, it is not safe. And other than lung injuries, there have been reported cases of explosions, seizures, kidney injuries, cardiovascular injuries. So marami na po siyang mga reports. And that is why the DOH and the FDA is also encouraging doctors to report the cases. Kasi ang problem kasi sa Philippines is the reporting. And then that is why it is important na mapaalam po natin sa ating mga kasama, kababayan, na meron reporting po ng EVALI cases para po nalaman na natin anong statistics po natin. Hindi lang kasi na report, but we have already our first case reported last October. We do not recommend it as a smoking cessation device because it is not stop smoking. It just continues ng smoking ibang device. And then, as also, we are also saying that it is not also recommended by the FDA, the DOH. Later, we will give you the press kit because we included there the stand of even the American Medical Association, the American Thoracic Society, the Department of Health. And according dun sa American Thoracic Society statement, sabi nga nila, ngayon lang daw sila nakakita ng cases na sandaling gamit pa lang or short-term use pa lang ng vape may damage na faster than the regular cigarette. So that is why ang stand ng PCP and PCCP is no to vape and we are supporting the vape ban. So po, may questions mo kayo?
Yes.
So if you have any questions po, please introduce your name and then you ask kung sino po yung speaker na gusto niyo tanong. Kayo po.
Good morning po. Juvie de Guzman, DWBL. Congratulations po sa naisip niyo na topic. Napaka-importante po sa amin personally. Dr. Glynna, Doc, di ba may problema rin tayo sa pollution? Yung problema natin sa tobacco ay matindi. Ngayon, kung hindi kami naninigarilyo, sa pollution pa lang hindi na tayo ligtas. Ano po ang epekto nun sa amin bilang isang non-smoker? And pangalawa po, sabi nila, yung second-hand smoker is vulnerable than for the first-hand smoker. Paki-explain lang po. Thank you.
Palahin ko po yung sa pollution. Definitely po may impact po talaga yung pollution. Kasi it has carbon monoxide. Eh di ba ang carbon monoxide, lason po yun. I'm sure you have heard of people committing suicide using carbon monoxide suffocation, di ba po ba? So, definitely po it has an impact. Unfortunately po, we don't have this large study to document the impact. But in Lung Center po, meron po isang doctor na nag-conduct ng research trying to associate air pollution with COPD. So, pumapasok pa rin po yung element ng number of years of exposure, but between, kumbaga, kung mas matagal po yung exposure, there is a higher chance for COPD. But between po COPD, between po ng smoker na nagda-drive, at saka yung exposure lang na hindi nag-yoyosi, sabihin na lang natin, mas ma-higher pa rin po yung risk. Doon sa study niya, mas marami pong nag-COPD na smoker and air pollution as compared sa plain air pollution if you talk about COPD. And then, the first-hand smoke, kasi meron tayong first-hand, second-hand, and third-hand smoke. Yung first-hand smoke, yun po yung action na naninigarilyo. Yung second-hand smoke po, yun po yung naglalanghap ng ibinuga. And then the third-hand smoke po, yun po yung usok na chemicals na lumidikit po sa table, sa wall. Kaya di ba may mga nagsusmoke po sa kotse, tapos pag alis po ng person na yun, amoy niyo po yung usok. That's the third-hand smoke. And in the studies po, pag tinanggal niyo po yung sa wall sa isang kwarto ng isang smoker, makikita niyo po, pag tinanggal niyo yung picture frame, makikita niyo po yung yellow, tapos yung kung saan yung pinag-alisan ng picture frame. So, dumidikit po talaga siya. So, all this po has a potential to cause cancer, sabihin na lang natin po. Kasi ang second-hand smoke po, meron, at saka third-hand smoke po, nag-i-emit din po siya ng tinatawag natin tobacco-specific nitrosamines. And then, for those who are second-hand na exposed, there is a 20% chance of getting lung cancer. Ayun, sabi ng first-hand smoker, di ba, yosi na lang ako. Di ba? Kasi mas mataas pala. Ay, hindi naman po gano'n. Still, as a smoker, is number one, a first-hand smoker. He's also a second-hand smoker kasi langhap din po naman niya yung binubugan niya eh. Tapos yung dumidikit po sa kwarto niya, sa kotse niya, third-hand smoke. So, he's both first-hand and second-hand, and also a third-hand smoker. So, it doesn't say, parang wala pong, hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na, pag first-hand smoker ka, mas matapang ang aking katawan to tolerate. Hindi naman po. Kasi meron pa rin po siyang risks. So, may risk for the second-hand smoker, pero meron, and the third-hand smoker, but meron pa rin risk for the actual smoker. And the risk po does not parang limit to the lungs only. It is, all the chemicals po, the 7,000 chemicals in a cigarette, and the 70 cancer-causing substance in a cigarette is absorbed po sa buong katawan. So, that puts that person at risk for cardiovascular diseases, strokes, even po sa beauty. Magre-wrinkle yung skin, dry ang hair, yellow ang balat, ang kuko. Ganun po. Okay, pa isa mga question namin.
Ay, okay na.
Okay ba?
Doktora, okay na po. Si Dr. Bernice naman, Dok, paano po natin ma-encourage yung mga smoker na sabi nga ho nila sa akin, kapag naging 1 billion, pag naging 1 billion na daw ang presyo ng sigarilyo, saka lang daw siya titigil. Pangalawa, pag naipasara daw natin yung manufacturer ng sigarilyo, posible daw tumigil siya. Kasi ang pinaka-problema daw sa atin, maraming pwedeng magbenta. At yun lang, kung walang magbebenta, wala naman daw user. Thank you.
But first, for answer that question, kasi I just recently made a lecture on air pollution. Actually, tama si Dr. Glynna, medyo, dito sa air pollution, konti lang studies natin dito sa Philippines associating air pollution and COPD or asthma. But I was surprised in other countries, ang dami na nating mga articles or journals associating air pollution. Actually, there are 6 U.S. Environmental Protection Agency have identified 6 air pollutants which are harmful to our body. So ozone is one, carbon monoxide is one, ozone, yung ground level, hindi yung sa stratosphere. Ang stratosphere na ozone, they are protective kasi they shield us from the UV rays. Ang ozone, these are the ground level or tropospheric ozone, also harmful. There's air pollutant, nitrogen dioxide, lead, sulfur dioxide, at saka yung particulate matter. So actually globally, pati yung World Health Organization, no, natakot na rin because the safety level, the whole world, actually 4 times the safety level na. So not only COPD, asthma, even ibang sakit. No? So this is, I think, also needs some government policies in regard to this, help tulungan with the doctors and health professionals to regulate, to have our better air quality. So with regards naman sa how to stop smoking. Okay, so kami as doctors, actually one of my ugali na, no, I always ask, kahit hindi COPD or kahit ibang sakit, I always ask kung nag-smoke pa kayo. Okay, so that's every patient. Kahit tingin ko nag-smoke o hindi, I always ask them for smoke pa kayo, hindi. Then we give the brief tobacco intervention. In-advise po namin how to stop smoking. That's number 1. And then number 2, we have actually a lot of smoking cessation. I think elaborate pa ni Dr. Glynna. We have already a lot of smoking cessation programs already right now. May quit line tayo, those who needs help to stop smoking. And then sa presyo, I think we're doing naman, like the bill, no, to increase the taxes of this smoke. Ang province, I think the regulation is very important also, the policies, no? And then we have a lot of smoking cessation clinic already available in our country where one could get help, and quitline is also very useful, so help these people to stop smoking. Okay? I think Dr. Glynna would like
I-add ko lang po yung sa DOH quitline. We have, if hindi po kayo familiar, we have a DOH quitline. It's 165364. Dahil pag binigay namin po yung press kit niya, meron po silang binigay ng mga t-shirt. So, 165 po, 364. So, for those people who need assistance and cannot go to a smoking cessation clinic, you can call that number, yung 165364.
Thank you. Ganun po yan.
Good morning. Good morning po. Camilo Miliandes po. The decision of the President to ban this vaping, no, the importation of vaping is very timely, and we're happy that the health sector is supporting it. No? But with regards to cigarette smoking, there seems to be some economic problem on this. Because we get a lot of taxes from the production of cigarettes. But definitely, we know that cigarettes are really harmful to health. Can the health sector really come up, especially we have now the President is supportive on the risk, no, on smoking. Can you come up with this stand that to really ban the importation or the production of cigarettes locally, so that we will accelerate the avoidance of cigarette smoke in the country?
Actually po, syempre po kung i-talk about sa health sector, definitely ayaw namin ng sigarilyo.
Yeah.
But when we talk about cigarette, hindi lang po health sector ang involved dito eh. We talk about the economics, the agricultural, although sabi naman namin, the farmers, mas madali lang, actually sabi nga, mas maraming patatanim ang farmers na mas madaling tumubo kaysa sa tabako. Kasi ang tabako, matrabaho daw siyang itanim eh. Kasi after mo siya itanim, idadry mo siya, tapos i-preserve mo siya, masyado siyang mabusisi as compared, kunyari lang naman for lack of a better example, magtanim ng kamote. Di ba? Pag harvest mo, tapos na. Yun, marami siyang preparation and storage and everything. So, and most of all, the politics. So yun po yung challenge. That is why marami pong doktor, I'm sure you have encountered na lagi pong nasa Senado, nasa Congress, trying to push for, push for at the very least yung syntax. Kasi hindi pa natin makuha yung banning eh. Kasi ito ang banning ng vape, di ba? May mga TRO, etc. etc. They talk about legalities, gano'n. So, marami pong challenges na kailangan natin, kumbaga, ma-overcome. But if you want to ask, ano ba ang gusto ng health sector? Definitely, we do not like cigarettes. It's no to cigarettes, it's no to vape. Anything that is harmful to health. Because we are promoting health. We are not promoting addiction. So kahit pa less harmful yan, at the end of the day, it's still addiction. So what generation of Filipinos do we want? Do we want a healthy people? Or we want an addicted people to nicotine and what have you na mga produkto? So, yun po.
Ma'am, nag-attend po kasi ako dun sa training about
Nag-attend po ako ng training dito sa about e-cigarettes, no? So that's with Philippine Health Justice at saka Pro Foundation. So ang ano lang po ako ngayon, medyo may idea na po ako lahat ng mga input nyo. Ang gusto ko na lang malaman kasi obviously ang mga data na lumalabas ay coming from US sa ibang bansa. Right now, wala tayong data sa Philippines. So in order for us, para magkaroon tayo ng valid numbers ng meron po bang ginagawa ngayon ng Philippine College of Physicians or sabihin na natin iba-ibang sa linya po ninyo na lahat ng mga doctors na magkakaroon ng pasyente parang may question or parang profiling lang na are they using vape? Katulad ng binanggit mo kanina, Dr. Bernice, di ba? Bago mo tanatanong mo kaagad kung ano. So, those are important data. And yung experience siguro na maganda rin pong is, meron ba kayong mga na-meet na mga nag-vape? Tapos ano nangyari sa kanila? Yung mga ganon. Because we really need data which should be done by not only the researchers, which is under the Philippine Health Research Development, di ba? Under DOSB. But of course, yung DOH din, obviously parang walang ganong And probably, as a practitioner, maganda rin ay sulungin.
So actually, that's why the Council on the Tobacco Control have already issued a position statement. That's one. That's what we're doing. And number two, I think we've already issued announcement, right? Actually, spread it through social media to all doctors concerned, any doctors who to report all actually those lung injury associated with the e-cigarettes to report it to the OH. Para makalimutan tayo because actually, this is just only the first Philippine case report, e-cigarette, no? Then, actually, may mga numbers kami to report to the FDA and the OH for any report or anything related sa lung injury or any adverse event due to your e-cigarette. Okay, so that's what we're actually doing to have enough data also, not only depending on the data of other countries.
Ma'am, may actual form na po. Kasi we're collaborating with the Department of Health, PCP and PCCP. There's an actual form po na nirelease ng Department of Health na if you fill up, meron po. So, dapat pala na-incorporate ko sa kit. Meron po yun. But there is an actual form po that pinapag-spread po namin sa doctors. Kung makuha niyo yung email ko po sa inyo. And then, there's an actual form that the doctors will need to fill up. And there's already an announcement, pakalat po namin among PCP, PCCP, na for any evaluate case, to report to this number. For example, FDA, 857-1900, DOH, 651-7800. So, pinapakalat na po among doctors na for any identified na evaluate case, to report to the DOH and FDA para sila po yung mag-investigate, mag-populate, And then, the form was already distributed po sa mga doctors.
Any deadline na naka-include dun sa letter from the DO?
Wala naman po, kasi as they
Ah,
come
so
eh.
tuloy-tuloy lang.
As tuloy-tuloy po. Kasi this is October lang po na ano yung i-valley, yung
Yeah.
term na i-valley. I think it was October 15 eh.
Yeah.
So bago lang po naglabas yung CDC ng term na i-valley.
CDC, men.
Yung Center for Disease Control sa US, so they coined that word na i-valley, and syempre po nakarating po sa, informed din po tayo, so we are collaborating naman po with the other societies.
Okay. So, for, wala pa
Follow up
tayo.
pwede ba?
Follow up lang po. Nagulat ako yung palang e-cigarette eh meron ding effect, no? So, bad effect pala.
It's
So,
aerosol.
hindi ko alam kung anong concern ng gobyerno natin kasi ang ginawa ng ibang doktor, syntax lang tinaasan yung presyo. Pero kahit na pala ganon, tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang paggamit ng tao ng tobacco and of course yung ating e-cigarette. Paano natin makokontrol to, doktor? Sa tingin niyo po? Kasi kung ang concern natin ay kita lang, tapos magbibigay naman ng kamatayan ng taong bayan, saan kaya tayo lulugar? Malungkot na katotohanan po ito. At ito nakikita na natin na parang tayo rin yung nagpapasok ng problema sa bansa natin. So how can we avoid that? Meron mo ba tayong kamay na bakal sa position po ninyo bilang isang chair ng grupo ninyo? Meron mo ba kayong pwedeng i-advise? Kasi kung kayo po advocacy ninyo is to help the having a good health, no, sa atin. Eh kung yung iba naman hindi po, yun ang advocacy, paano po kaya tayo? Sa tingin niyo lang po, sa inyong sariling pananaw lang. Kasi syempre, hindi naman kayo pwedeng magsalita para sa lahat ng doktor kasi iba-iba yung pananaw natin bilang isang tao. Thank you.
I'll speak for the PCCP, the web programs. Like
Yes.
This is one. We want to promote the awareness of the bad effects ng smoking. And number two is yung mga day 4, we always have this sa mga patients to tell them, to educate them, the harmful effects of smoking, cigarette. So, and then kung kami po, you think if di namin kaya, we refer them to centers. We have actually, as I've said, may mga smoking cessation clinics po tayo. It's a program. Actually, there are a lot of nananamin ko sa atin na you would help us to assist them. It's actually 6 weeks na mga program to help them to quit kasi may mga motivation na doon lahat or if they need a nicotine replacement therapy. So these are the things I think we're doing as a PCCP to, as our part, no? In order to decrease or actually to stop the people from smoking.
Just kasi the syntax naman po, hindi naman po gusto ng health sector kumuha ng maraming pera. Mga po, hindi naman it's not about money, it's to discourage people to buy. Parang gano'n. Kasi pag mataas po yung pressure, hindi ka bibili, di ba? That's the idea. And then just like recently, no, mga September or October, the PCP and the PCCP were also pushing to put taxes, sin tax also dun sa e-cigarette. Para po mas mahal pa talaga, para hindi siya affordable dun sa mga tao. But fortunately po, dahil nag-release na po yung ating presidente ng statement on the banning, so mas happy po kami kasi so our move now is to support him. To support our president in his stand on the banning of the vape. So rather than pushing for the sin tax, nagsabi na po si Presidente, ban hindi mas masaya. Mas gusto namin yun. So we're supporting him 100% with his statement.
Wow, that's
Ayun po.
nice. Thank you.
Si Sir po ata may gusto.
Ma'am, given the number po of vape users, do you think it's just a matter of time before we report another case? And then given that, sabi niyo nga po, you support the President 100%, pero may mga 200 vape users po ang na-apprehend ng police but were eventually released. Do you think that there should be some sort of jail time para po mas magtanda yung mga vape users?
Well, actually, siguro po, kung if we question, kasi parang may issue yan di ba? What law? Ano bang ano pa? But it's encompassing sa, kasama po siya sa executive order. The executive order number 26 that was released by the President.
That's the law.
2018 ba? 2019? Yun po yun, yung executive order 26 ng Presidente po. Kasi nakalagay po doon, it does not limit to only regular cigarettes, but any tobacco-related product. So may clause po doon na hindi lang limited yung executive order sa sigarilyo lang, but pwede po yung mga e-cigarette at ang parang uso ngayon yung Juul. Yung Juul naman wala siyang usok, pero nicotine pa rin. So it's still about addiction. So why are we promoting addiction? Why is it, may nabasa ako sabi, improving the lives of smoker by using yung Juul. Sabi ko, how will you improve this person's life by pushing him into addiction? Parang ganun po. So, at the end of the day ano ba ang goals natin? Ano ba ang goals natin? When we say improving lives, it's about health, di ba? Rather than addiction. Kahit pa sabihin mo, kahit okay lang ako addict, hindi naman ako magkaka-cancer. Okay lang ba yun? Na wala kang cancer, wala kang stroke, pero addict ako, okay lang yun. Hi, parang chill, cool. Okay lang ba yun? Na addict ka nga, pero wala ka, kasi less harmful eh. Pero sabi nga, the dictum in di ba sa medicine is, do not harm. Di ba? First, do no harm.
Do no harm.
Yes, sir.
Yung ano po, are you expecting to see more cases of Ibali?
Yes. It just so happened na kasi before hindi mo alam kung saan ka magre-report. Tapos hindi mo ma-recognize kung ano ba yung Ibali. But now we have given how to diagnose. Kasi ano criteria for that person to be diagnosed as Ibali. And once you catch the case, saan mo i-report? So may numbers po na binigay ang Department of Health at FDA. Na sila po yung mag-collate po o mag-investigate sa cases.
Ma'am, baka lang po makatulong kayo. Can you describe, ewan ko po kung nakarating na sa inyo yung report, can you describe the 16-year-old case? Kasi ang Ibali para sa mga ibang vape users, wala siyang mukha. So maybe your description of this 16-year-old can help them picture out what an Ibali case looks like.
Yung sa data privacy kasi we cannot masyadong give so much information about the person or even where the person was hospitalized. But basically, ang kaso po, nahirapan huminga, shortness of breath, difficulty of breathing, the person went to what we call respiratory failure. Yung talagang hirap na hirap po huminga, kapos na kapos po sa oxygen, and not responding to antibiotics. So, hindi po siya infectious in nature. So, this is a 16-year-old. Okay lang po siguro pagbintangan natin yung ibang sakit kung medyo elderly siya. Pwede natin sabihin, siguro kasi COPD yan eh. Siguro kasi may heart problem yan eh. Pero this is a young individual with no other medical problems. So, biglang nahirapan huminga, which is very unusual. And the underlying problem was the person was using vape for roughly 6 months. So, yun po yung parang pinaka-data. Yes po.
Ikaw muna yan. Ladies first.
Good morning po ulit, Cathy Cruz. Di ako nakapagpakilala kanina. Sa DZXL ang ating kalipunan, itong klase natin. And of course, sa Kalipunan Channel. Anyway, gusto ko lang din malaman kung kayo po as media practitioners and belong to Philippine College of Physicians, kung may naiisip na po kayo ngayon na isang legislator na maging champion po para sa, alam mo yun, yung strictong pagpapatupad or banning or whatever na batas regarding e-cigarette.
Sa syntax kasi nung nag-a-attend kami, although siguro disclaimer, hindi ako masyadong ma-political person, but ang lagi ko pong nakikita is si Senator Pia sa syntax, and even for the e-cigarette, siya po yung tumutulong sa amin to push for it. Kasi may mga Senate hearings na po about it to add more taxes for vape. Si Senator Pia po yung nagsusupport po. Na nakikita ko po.
Question again, ma'am. I observe, no, itong sa ngayon, Ang malakas manigarilyo ngayon, if you see, no? Mga babae pa eh. I don't know if you've observed it, ano? Bakit naging gano'n, ano? Does it affect the reproduction of the
Babae
woman?
ang stressful.
Ha? Bakit gano'n? Will it affect, kunyari, nag-bear sila ng child? Apektado ba yung bata?
Yes. Babae ang stressful.
Actually, yes. I'm not sure about data, but I think both ano pa rin. I think data still met pa rin. Pero right now, there are a lot of growing data na females are also smoking. Pwedeng stress, pwedeng socialization. That's number one also sa mga among females. And just to mind you, may mga studies showing that yung effect ng smoke, yung lung function na affecting lungs, mas grabe po sa mga smokers na babae. There's some studies showing that. Compared sa mga lalaki, smokers na babae, mas malaki yung effect ng damage na nangyari. So I think, data are still growing na actually both, pero mas worrisome about female because mas malaki effect na sa lungs. There's smokers.
Ako po, sa case ko, no, I said my own experience. I started smoking in 1967. I was second year high school. I only quit smoking in 1997. Meaning to say, 30 years ago, smoker. And I smoke a lot. The reason why I quit smoking is that I have a family. My children are growing up. Parang hindi ako makahinga. Iniisip ko paano mapag-aral yung mga anak ko. No? The motivation factor was my family. That's why I quit smoking. Ang napansin ko kasi, the origin of my smoking started when I was in high school. Parang peer influence. Nanigarilyo yung iba, nanigarilyo na rin ako. Ang ibig ko sabihin, why don't we recommend that, itong elementary kasi bihira nanigarilyo ito eh.
Meron din.
Ha? Pero bihira. Bihira. Normally,
Pero ma'am, siguro maganda lang din kasi we're live streaming eh. Para lang din sa mga kasalukuyang nanonood ngayon sa ating live streaming. Sinasabi niyo po na yung e-cigarette o yung vaping ay nakakasama. Ano po ba yung content niya? Kasi usually, makikita mo pa talaga dun sa mga stores kung saan may mga e-cigarette stores, no? Nakalagay talaga dun, stop smoking. Tapos start vaping. Parang gano'n eh, nakakatuwa nga. Tawa nga ako ng tawa nung nakita ko yung picture na yun eh. Pero ano ba yung content nung e-cigarette? Bakit siya nakakasama sa katawan natin?
Because of nicotine.
So, definitely, may nicotine pa rin siya. Kasi yun yung addiction eh. So, yun yung addiction. May nicotine. Pero doon sa pag-aaral ng FDA, meron silang nakitang diethylene glycol, propylene glycol, nitrosamines, doon sa US FDA. Tapos, these are carcinogens. Tapos meron din yung diacetyl. Yung diacetyl yung sa flavoring. And this product is, or this component is causing yung tinatawag na scarring dun sa lungs, which we call popcorn lung or bronchiolitis obliterans. It has oil-based kasi siya. Kaya pag pumunta siya sa lungs, nagiging, parang, syempre oil and water, di ba? So parang nagiging foreign substance siya. Hindi siya na-absorb ng body kasi oil eh. Parang foreign siya. So, ina-attack ngayon ito ng cells or inflammatory cells, nagiging pneumonia. So, we call it lipoid pneumonia. So, maraming pang ibang chemicals minsan na hindi dinedeclare. Kaya nga, hindi kasi siya dumaan sa FDA. Kaya, hindi talaga natin ma-enumerate isa-isa. But when I checked on one product, meron siya mga flavoring, meron siya yung mga parang may mga sa bulaklak na parang pampabango, and then may ethyl acetate. Yung ethyl acetate, kung naalala niyo po, sa biology, ginagamit natin para hiluhin yung mga, yung mga butterfly, di ba? Yung mga, di ba sa biology, nagmamount tayo ng mga dragonfly, butterfly, noon pa, syempre, di ba para hiluhin natin yung mga insect, ginagamit natin yung ethyl acetate. So, dun sa isang, chinek ko yung content, meron. Sinasabi sa mga nagbebenta, water vapor. Kasi minsan nagtanong ako, ano ba yan? Sabi ko ganun, water vapor daw. So, kaya tuloy, magkakaroon ng misconception yung mga tao na it is really safe kasi water nga lang daw. but they do not declare also the content.
Pag naiisip niyo po ba na ang in behalf of the PCP ay ipa-test niyo ang isang naiisip niyo po
ba in behalf of the PCP na bumili lang kayo ng isang sabihin na nating e-cigarette, yung mismong liquid na pinapasok doon, and have it test to the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, wherein merong isang division doon sa kanila to test what are the contents of that liquid. Meron po kasi sila eh. If you remember the issue about the suka, that's the PNRI. Meron po ba kayong ganung well, it's suggestion.
Coordination.
Mama, kina. Wala pa. Sagot. Wala pa. Okay.
Akala ko tatanong ni Milo kung bakit
maganda
mas
kayo?
maraming babae nagkaka-breast cancer kaysa sa lalaki. Yung pala, lung cancer. I just attended last Saturday a forum na nandun yung mga vapors. They're promoting it. No? Siyempre, reklamo sila. Ako, may desisyon na ako dyan. I made a decision in 1982. Yung bayaw ko, continue. I was 10 years older sa kanya. Ako tumigil, siya hindi. Nung 66 years old ako, namatay siya.
Sabi ko na eh.
56 siya, 66 ako. That was 6 years ago. I'm now 72. Although Juby will not agree. Ang tanong ko lang, ano ang mechanism ng dapat ito, ini-ingest natin, dapat ito, ang sigarilyo ho ba, ano ang FDA regulations dyan? At bakit nakawala itong vapors? Ganun gumagamit din naman sila, no? Hindi ba dapat yan under FDA din? Simply, kasi kung ganun, ang shortcut sa banning yan, pagpapahirap yan, padaanin din sa FDA, di ba? Yun ang first question ko. Ano ang dapat ba makialam dito ang FDA kasi ini-ingest yan sa loob ng katawan ng tao or whatever, and what in relation to smoking, ordinary smoking, is there that is not with the vaping?
Actually, sir, hindi po siya FDA approved. Hindi po siya FDA approved. So parang hindi nila pinasok kasi as a drug. But it was initially, they attempted to position it as a smoking cessation device. Yun yung intention, na smoking cessation. Pero hindi po siya FDA approved. Kaya siguro nakalusot. Kasi siguro ng mga 2005, 2006, yung nag-uumpisa pa lang po siya, kino-consider yun, pero hindi pa talaga na prove na harmful. Kasi limited pa po yung mga pag-aaral. Bagong product po kasi, bagong product. But it was intended as a smoking cessation device, or at least yun yung direction sana para maka-prove.
In fact, they're denying that it's smoking kasi vapor daw ito.
Yun nga.
Ang sabi ko nga, hello, mas ano yan eh, mas may catalyst yan to create harm kasi vapor na nga. Hindi ba, tubig versus liquid air.
Mabilis.
Pag nandun ang carrier sa liquid air, mas pasok nga yun sa lungs.
Mas mabilis.
So yun lang. Ako, I'd rather date than vape.
Yes.
Tagline namin ngayon. So, tama naman po kayo, sir. Kasi sabi ko nga, lagi kong sinasabi minsan sa mga colleagues ko, we are not philosophers. We are doctors. So, Pilosopo yan, sir, di ba? Yung sinasabi mo nga, that's how sometimes, kasi yun yung kasabihan, sir, pumapasok na pag gusto,
May paraan.
may paraan. Pag ayaw, may
May
dahilan.
There's something worse than that. It's about choice.
Yes.
May choice ang mamatay na maaga, pakiram mo. You know. But that's it. That's the kind of mindset that we are against here.
Meron po akong ini-entertain na idea
Anong
na kung bakit itong vape ay kinontra. Baka naapektuhan ng sales ng mga sigarilyo eh. Hindi kaya itong
Politics na.
mga nagpo-produce ng sigarilyo ang siyang nag-campaign para maputol yung vape para bumalik sa sigarilyo ang mga tao. Ano sa palagay niyo po?
Kasi
We cannot say.
politics pa rin.
It's possible.
Di ba si Lucio Tan producing Fortune cigarettes?
Pero, sir, mahirap i-quote sa, pero, ang chismis, most of the vape, nabili rin daw ng tobacco industry. So, I don't have proof, but it's as I
Sige,
said, it's a
pa-verify
chismis.
Nag-diversify sila kasi kinakonquer na, no?
Opo, so
Yung kanilang market.
meron din silang sarili nilang
Oo.
vape daw. So,
Oo.
parang ganun. So,
Pero I'm happy because the health sector has an ally now in the person of President Duterte. Siguro, pag kayo talaga, you will really firmly understand to stop the production of cigarette, Duterte will join you. Dahil siya mismo, victim din siya ng addiction in his early days di ba?
Hindi lang yun, may COPD si...
Oo. Nagsi-COPD, may ano siya, may oxygen, nag-oxygen na ata siya. Ewan ko kung fake news niya, ano?
Hindi naman. Totoo na.
Oo, totoo. Mabalik ako sa akin, mama. Kasi 30 years ako nag-smoke eh. Hindi kaya wala na akong lungs or what? How do I check it?
All clear.
Please do spirometry. Magpa-spirometry tayo.
Ayan.
So that will check kung may obstruction ng airway. 30 years, strong heavy smoker pa kayo before?
Oh, I was
1 pack
strong.
per day. Kasi sinigtat is actually 1 pack per day for 10 years. So 10 smoking
Ako,
pack.
2 packs a day.
So, okay. So you better do a spirometry.
Mahal ba yan? Mahal ba yan?
It depends. It depends. It ranges usually sa hospitals.
Kapit ka lang dito.
So sa mga ibang laboratories they have, it ranges from I think 1,000 to 3,000.
Ang check.
Spirometry.
Marami
It's
ka
called
naman pera.
spirometry. You could ask of hospitals meron, sir.
Di
Check
ba?
your lung function.
Wala bang mga yung parang sample lang para...
Actually, we have like one of our activities sa heart center, at least sa lung center also, during World COPD Day, November 20, we do have this free screening na
free
spirometry,
screening.
mga portable
Punta na tayo doon.
Ah.
Kailan yun?
Tapos na. November 20 po natapos.
gusto ko rin ma-check, ma'am eh. Kasi baka wala na akong lungs eh. Thank you.
Doc, possible po ba yung candy? Yung candy daw po pwedeng alternative sa tobacco. Meron po ba posibilidad na maging ganun? Kasi yung iba, sabi ganun, para hindi ka mahilig sa sigarilyo, convert mo na sa pagki-candy. Is that true?
Ang problema po dyan, diabetes naman. Hindi naman. Yung diabetes naman. Although, meron pala tayo sa market yung mga lozenges and pastilles na baka yun po yung ibig sabihin. Yung nicotine replacement therapy. Pero the object, may during as one of our lectures with high school students, sabi nila, na-strike ako, sabi na, Doc, sabi mo masama nicotine, kaya stop, bakit gamot nicotine din? Sabi na, oo nga, sabi ko gano'n. Kasi sa nicotine replacement therapy, may dosage yun.
Gradual.
Gradual. It is just to support the withdrawal symptoms. Kasi addiction yan eh. So, alam mo ba ang effect ng pag naninigarilyo? Yung nicotine kasi upper yan or stimulant. Kaya nga po yung sabi nyo, yung mga nai-stress, parang nare-relax sila, nag-iisip sila better, parang nagiging mas, yung mga mga gusto hindi matulog, yung, di ba sa, nag-aaral, gusto mo magising. So, magsisigarilyo ka. And when you remove that nicotine, parang magugulat yung body. Nasaan na yung upper ko? Nasaan na yung stimulant ko? So, parang nagiging-irritable sila, nagiging mainitin ang ulo, tapos yung iba parang talagang nag-crave sila. So, yun yung mga problems na na-encounter ng mga nagsastop, yung mga withdrawal symptoms. So, these lozenges and pastilles are just there to help po na magbigay ng just a small amount of nicotine para hindi po naman very sudden yung wala siyang nicotine sa body. But the goal is eventually tapering the dose. Wala tayong patches po sa bansa, but meron po sa ibang bansa yung 21 milligrams, 14 and 7. So sa first week po, kung 1 pack a day user po kayo, yung 21 milligrams. Then after a week, 14. Tapos after a week, 7. So there's a goal in decreasing. As compared to e-cigarettes, walang goal in decreasing. Talagang continuous lang siya. So hindi talaga siya smoking cessation. It's talagang shifting. So ito po, may decreasing dose ka to eventually kaya mo na, stop na.
Okay, Doc, meron po akong isang share. Yung uncle ko po, nung sinabihan siya ng misis niya na kapag hindi ka tumigil sa paninigarilyo, iiwanan kita. Naging effective ho yun. And mula ho noon, na sinabihan siya, naging wife niya yung tita ko, hindi daw talaga siya nanigarilyo. Totoo po yun. So, meron din siguro mindset up yung ating tao na if you want to stop, you can do it sa ganung paraan. Thank
It
you.
depends on the motivation.
Opo.
Thank you, Doc.
Sana naman sabihan din ako ng asawa ko.
So, are there any last questions po? You can actually take naman sound bites from our speakers. Nakita ko may mga camera. So, pwede niyo po silang interviewin individually. So, ako na lang po yung mag-last question. So, doktora, kasi nalaman natin, di ba, na alam naman po ng lahat ng doktor, smoking is bad. So, wala naman pong doktor magsasabi na magtuloy-tuloy kayong manigarilyo. Kasi, tinanong niyo po kanina, anong pwede namin gawin bilang doktor. Wala namang doktor na gusto ng sigarilyo. Kaya lang nandyan siya. So, we have to manage it. And then, yung pong sigarilyo, nalaman na addiction pala siya. Kaya, kung hindi man nila kayang mag-cold turkey, yung kaagad na itigil, yung kinasabi ni doktora, to quit smoking, may mga gamot, yung gradual, may mga support. Kasi nga po, addiction siya. So, ngayon, doktora, gusto ko lang i-confirm, no? Kasi, natanong kanina yung about sa ill effects ng vaping. Na sabi, baka pakanalan niya ng tobacco industry kasi nasa-threaten sila, no? Kasi there's a better way of smoking pala na healthier supposedly. Pero bad din kasi may nicotine din, hindi naman nawala yung nicotine. Can you confirm from a medical point of view that vaping is really bad? Kasi baka iniisip nila pakanalan ng tobacco industry. Hindi, meron ng disease na nakita na secondary to vaping. So, baka naman yung disease ng tobacco industry o hindi, may sakit kang nakukuha sa vaping. And does this show na mas masama siya talaga than cigarette smoking? But both are bad, ha? Kasi parang too early pa lang, ang aga pa lang ng vaping, ang dami na yung nagkakasakit.
Yun nga po yung sinasabi, di ba, yung sa American Thoracic Society, at a short-term use, marami na. Yun nga po, yung reported case natin isa pa lang. Pero yung mga casual consultations po namin, nagsasabi po sila sa akin masakit daw sa throat. Tapos minsan yung iba po parang naninikip po yung dibdib. Yung mga ganun po. O kaya nagpapalpitation. So far, nakaka-trigger po ng pag-ubo. So sabihin natin, hindi pa naman as respiratory failure, may ganun po, yung masakit daw na masakit sa throat. May mga ganun din po, mga kwento po yung mga na-interview ko pong patients.
Yeah. So I think, yes, we've confirmed, kasi Dr. Shepard, may evidence tayo. No? So as early as 6 months now, we have already evidences of the ill effects of vaping. No? Okay, so these are just proof. That's why we're also encouraging. I think with this na release namin to report, I think baka more will report. Okay, this evidence.
Okay po, thank you. So that ends our press con. But again, sila doktora po are available naman so you can interview them after the press con.
Photo.
Doktora. Kayo po.
Tsaka yun po sa si Doktora po, which is, she's one of the regents po, no, yung parang board member ng Philippine College of Physicians. So, we would like to invite you to attend our Christmas party on December 17. So, more information will be available and will be sent to you. So, dito rin po yung venue, pero mas masarap yung food. Tsaka hopefully, mas marami po tayo. And Doctora is promising raffle and gifts for everyone.
Thank you in advance.
So, mag-confirm kayo kay Mika not later than next week po para ma-head count. Meron akong tinanong para gusto sagutin ko. Tatanong ko sana kanina, saan ba mas maraming naninigarilyo Diyos sa probinsya ba? Sa rural areas ba? Or sa urban?
I think it's still urban.
Yes.
Yes, pero yung effects, what I'm saying is kanina is kahit hindi nag-smoke sa mga provinces, but with yung mga exposure to biomass fuel, mga uli, marami may COPD na babae, hindi sila nag-smoke. That's why you also educate them to pag nag-cooking, do not use mga uli, mga charcoal. Yes, madami po. Actually, province, the prevalence is 20%. But the PCP is actually ongoing study. Nationwide po ito. I think we already recruited already 1,000, almost 2,000 patients to have a more accurate prevalence for the greater pictures of the whole Philippines. Ongoing pa siya, pati survival. So hopefully, next few years it will come out.
But particularly, Doc, on e-cigarette, more on dito sa Metro Manila. Did you already
because of the
Availability.
yes,
because of the availability and family?
Smile. Media, may join nyo?
Kasama kayo.
Media. Media, oh.
Sa likod. Palakpakan muna natin sila, Doktor. Being very generous with their answers.
Sali tayo.
Sama po kayong lahat. Sir, sama ka. Sir, sabi ni Sir, sana daw yung asawa niya, sabihin din sa kanya yun. Halika na, Sir.
Ay, bakit si Kuya Ado? Halika rito.
Oo nga, sino si Kuya Ado?
Ayun po, nakakilala ng lover boy. Lover boy ng...
exposure.
Okay.
Lover boy ng radyo ng ba?
Sino tayo mo sumama, Sir?
Sama pa ako?
Salamat. Mika, picture.
Nora.
Sama po.
Sama na kayo po, ha?
Yung mga gwapong cameraman.
Sama natin si
Sama si Tita Nor. Dito po kayo.
So, we will see you po sa party natin, ha?
Opo. Thank you po.
Nag-confirm na po yung president ng PCP na dadating siya sa party. Sabi na po si Dr. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Tita, thank you. Galing-galing na.